welcome to DiversityMBAPrep.com. I'm Nicole Lindsay, and today we're talking about School Fit. Over the last few modules, we've covered what MBA admissions officers are looking for in candidates, including academic readiness, career potential, and leadership potential. The last area that they consider is fit. Essentially, schools are trying to determine if you are compatible with their MBA program. Will you fit in? Now, what fit looks like at one school is going to be different than what it looks like at another school. And I'll start by saying you should not worry too much about how a school is assessing fit, because it's usually not as structured as the other areas. It's not as structured as determining your academic readiness or making an assessment about your career and leadership potential. But it is helpful to understand what are the things that may come into play. So if I'm an admissions officer who's considering your application, there are three buckets, if you will, that I may consider around fit. The first is, can I help you? So you may have amazing career goals and leadership potential, but when I look at what you want to do and what my school offers, I might decide that you're not a fit. So if you want to study and pursue something that my school has no competency around and can't really support you, then you may not be a fit. So that's the first area. The second piece is around, can you help me? So are you going to be a student who contributes to the MBA community? Are you going to be an engaged citizen? Are you going to be involved in a way that's typical of other students within the community? If, for example, the school has a really strong team environment and a really close-knit community, and you're someone who just doesn't, seems to be a loner who doesn't really engage in that way based on your background, then I might determine that you're not a great fit for the program. The last area is kind of a catch-all, and it's anything that just hasn't come up someplace else, but that an admissions officer is gnawing at them. So likability is one of them. If as an admissions officer, I meet someone on the trail who's just not likable, so they're just a jerk, that's they may have the grades and the GMAT and great career goals and leadership potential for someone, but I just don't feel like they'd be a good fit in the program, and they piss a lot of people off, and they'd be a jerk during recruiting, things like that. Another one might be communication, your communication skills and effectively being able to communicate, or maybe even something like your attitude and enthusiasm about the school. So if I don't feel like you really want to go to my school, I may be less apt to admit you. Now, I don't want you, again, to worry too much about fit at this point. I don't want you to be sort of second-guessing every action and do I fit in? Because fit is, even with schools that have strong cultures, fit is a pretty broad term. What is important, though, for you is to understand that in the same way the school is assessing you, you should be assessing the school. So you need to determine if the school is a fit for you long before you ever submit an application. First, does the school offer what you need? If you need to develop certain relationships and skills and knowledge to be able to achieve your career goals, and that school doesn't offer it, then it may not be a good fit, right? So really understanding what it is that you need during that 2-year or 3-year MBA program, right, to achieve your goals. The second piece is around kind of your wants. What do you want? Let's say, for example, you really want to do an immersion, a global immersion in Bahrain, right? And so one program that you're interested in has that, and there's another that doesn't. You should knock that program off. The other program, the one that doesn't have the trip to the Middle East, you shouldn't knock it off your list. But again, it's just recognizing there are experiences that you want to have. There may be opportunities that certain schools have that others don't. So really thinking about what are the wants that you have around the program. The last piece, so wants, needs, and then just fit. Do you feel like you have a cultural fit, kinship with people on campus? I actually think this is something you can save until you have actually gotten admit letters and you're going to admitted student weekends and things like that. I certainly think there are too many candidates who start with cultural fit and they're like, I love it here, I can totally see myself here. And it's like, okay, well, first make sure they offer what you need, that you can get that there, and then you can get to, I'd have fun and have a good experience. So those are the areas. Again, schools are assessing your fit, you should be assessing theirs. A couple of final thoughts. The first is, how do you determine fit? You determine fit in two ways: research and relationship management. So with research, you've already started doing this, but it's about understanding what the schools have to offer, how they can help you achieve your goals, what they'll do to support you as a student and as an alum, right? What are the opportunities there? So doing as much research as you can. Also, there are now so many student blogs, alumni blogs, admissions officer blogs where they're talking about kind of life on campus, where you can get a glimpse on a regular basis of what's going on there. The next piece, it's great to get all of that information, but you have to talk to people in the flesh, right? So alumni, students, admissions officers, particularly with alumni, they can share with you their decision-making process. Why did they decide to go to X school instead of Y? You can really drill down and try and understand how they assessed fit for themselves. So that will help you in assessing fit for yourself. Finally, I think I've pretty much communicated it, but I want to reiterate, do not worry about fit too much. You should not be kind of obsessing about, do they like me when you go to events. Schools are way more focused on academic readiness, career potential, and leadership potential. And school fit ends up being sort of the X factor. So I certainly think everyone wants to be liked, but you shouldn't be focused on being friends with admissions officers or kind of stalking students to get them to like you. Instead, you should be focused on the nuts and bolts of whether the school can provide you the opportunities that you need to achieve your goals, and if it's an environment that's going to be additive, where you're going to grow and develop as a professional. Ultimately, if you find a program that's going to do that, you are likely going to be a fit for that program. So I hope this was helpful. Please let us know if you have questions or if there's other information we can provide. We're excited to be on this MBA journey with you. Be well.